Welcome back to Asinine Radio, a weekly podcast where we talk about music, and, well, that's pretty much it. So, let's go!
You all right?
Yeah, I timed that one good. I got the bass line on point that time, and the exact moment that I thought you were going to say "hey," you started the "hays." So I was
okay.
That was good.
All right, timing, dude.
I was keeping time properly that one.
Very good, very good. Well, this is Asinine Radio. This is the weekly music podcast where every week we get into a different band, different artist, and we break down one of their records, get into the lyrics, music, art, how it was made, and everything in between. My name is Tyler, and way out there, hundreds of miles away, is Jeff. While you're listening, go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, give us 5 stars. All the social media is at Asinine Radio. So give us a follow, subscribe to us, all that good stuff. And let's get right into it. We're getting into Social Distortion, their first record, Mommy's Little Monster. Came out in 1983. I don't know. Mike Ness is really the leader of this band. That's really the only person you really need to kind of know about when we talk about Social D, especially this. Well, maybe not, especially this record. But anyway, Social Distortion. What are your Why are we doing that? Why are we doing Social Distortion this week, Jeff? Let's get into that first.
Just because that's what the fans wanted. The fans wanted us to do Social D. We did Orange County season, and we deliberately omitted Social D from Orange County season. Even though Social D is the house band for Orange County, but we omitted them on purpose because we just never felt they were like good. And
the house
this week
band
solidified.
You calling them the house band is it sounds so rude. But it's really not, but it just kind of sounds rude. And yeah, we did omit Social D from Orange County season. Fuck, dude, I can't even. What is wrong with me?
Bliggity blam.
Instead, we did No Doubt, who we've done a bunch of times on the podcast, and Sublime as well, who we've done several times. But yeah, I don't know. I'm just trying to be a jerk and be offensive, I guess.
Yeah, that's
but yeah,
okay.
Social D, they're really not. They aren't a bad band. They really aren't. They just make pretty average music. Nothing really stands out too much. But let's get into our origin stories with the band. So what do you got, Jeff? Go.
I don't know the first time that I heard Social D, like specifically, or when I realized that I didn't like them or like them, but an early memory that I have, maybe the earliest like vivid memory I have was downloading on Kazaa. I was looking for Johnny Cash, and then I downloaded Ring of Fire, and then I heard Social D's version, but the one from Live at the Roxy. Oh, okay. So that one came out after their self-titled, I believe. That was like well after. We were probably that's probably late 90s, I think. Mm-hmm. So that was my first intro to Social D, and I was like, "Oh, that's a cool fucking cover! I like that cover. That's a really great cover of that song." But it's really not. It's really not because the normal song is fine, and they're still trying to be like the normal song. The only difference is just his crooning, and I've never been a fan of the crooner, even still to this day. Just not a fan of the crooner. So that's my first memory of Social D, aside from just always seeing them on marquees around Southern California and Orange County.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, they are an Orange County band. They're from Fullerton, California. Very close to where we grew up, where I currently live. Seriously, 15 minutes down the road, and I'm in Fullerton. I'm in downtown Fullerton, where literally they played shows. They recorded this first record, Mommy's Little Monster, at. But yeah, my origin story, I don't remember specifically. They've just always kind of been around, especially once I got into rock music and I started listening to K-Rock, the local LA radio station, because they would play Story of My Life, Ball and Chain, and Ring of Fire all the damn time. And they still do to this day. They still play it so much. Also, there are other, alt rock radio stations out here. They play the same 3 songs as well. So it's just, this is a band that's been constantly ingrained into our Orange County society, I guess.
Yeah.
This is also a band that I've seen, I believe, 3 times just because they're always playing shows around here. And there was a point in like 2005, 2006, where they were playing at the House of Blues in Anaheim every weekend for like 4 months.
I know. It was like a fucking residency in Vegas, dude.
It seriously was. And it was almost always sold out. Hello? Wait,
yeah, no, I can still hear you. Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, it was almost always sold out, but people would go, like friends of mine, they would go, they'd say, "Oh, I have an extra ticket. Do you just want to go?" I mean, I'm like, okay, yeah, I have nothing better to do on this Friday night or Saturday night, so I just go see them. And I mean, I knew a couple of their songs obviously, but I would just go just to hang out with my friends and just kind of chill. And that's what it was. Like, I didn't go out of my way to see this band, but I've seen them 3 times, I believe 3 times. But I mean, my origin story, I don't really know. I don't know what it is, but they've just always been around, this band. So
always been around, and they're always going to be around because this band, this band fucking sucks, dude. This band is just not good. I don't even care if I'm like gatekeeping fucking annoying. This band sucks. The only reason they are even kind of popular, and I'll give them credit. I'll give credit where credit's due. The only reason why they are popular is because like no band really sounds like this. Like what other, even like fucking Reverend Horton Heat, right? Like Tiger Army, like any band that even plays remotely close to this type of music, nobody really sounds like Social D. And they did it, and they did it in like the early 80s. So I respect them for doing it, but I don't like what you did because it's just like not good.
But also they, at least to the best of my understanding, they kind of popularized the whole cowpunk movement thing that with the 1988, the Prison Bound album in 1988, combining so much of the old country western with punk rock, which, other bands really, really, were influenced by. Like Tiger Army is a huge example of that. They have a lot of songs that have that kind of cowpunk thing, and Tiger Army does it infinitely better, but you got to give credit where credit's due, right?
Social D is, so like Mommy's Little Monster, our album of the week, I think is their best album. That was no fucking brainer. That was easily their best album.
Yes.
But it's not a great album. It's just not.
It's good. It's a solid punk record. I don't think it's just a punk record. It's solid punk rock. But yeah, it does have Mike Ness's croony vocals, which are very unique. Musically, I think to me overall the best part of the band is the bass player, but he only shines like
on
halfway through the album.
Songs.
Yeah, like the second half of the record was when I was like, oh my god, dude, this guy kind of has like some Matt Freeman shit going on.
Yeah,
but not as technical as Matt Freeman, but
he
almost
gets squirrely from time to time. Yeah, that's about it.
He does.
And only like the jam songs.
That's true too. That is true too. But yeah, Mommy's Little Monster, it truly is the outlier for the band. This is the only true punk record that they did. And then there was this kind of hiatus from 83 to 88 when their next record came out because Mike Ness, heroin addiction and being in and out of jail and rehabs, they just didn't put out any music between that time. And then when they did with Prison Bound, it's just like, I was shocked. I mean, the only record prior to this week that I had listened to from them was the self-titled record, was Social Distortion, because it has the big hits and it's just like whatever. And I just never cared for the record. I've never cared for it. So when I threw on Mommy's Little Monster, I was like, dude, okay, I'm into this. I'm all in. I'm excited for this week. And then I threw on Prison Bound, and I just thought, oh my god, this is not going to be as fun as I was expecting. But yeah, just I do like the punk rock, roots of Mommy's Little Monster. It's good. It's not the best, but it's good. I mean, once we start breaking down a few of the songs, I'll get into the other bands that I feel like it sounded like, or they were influenced by, because there's definitely some influence from other bands here.
I mean, there's there's influence from other bands here, but again, this is an era of punk that it was that was kind of one dimensional, and the one thing that I will praise Social D for is breathing new life into punk, and that's what Mommy's Little Monster did above all else. The only reason why, towards the end of my wrap up, I'm already like doing my wrap up right now. It sounds like
10 minutes.
The only
in.
reason, I just don't even fucking care. The only reason I'm going to rate this album as high as I'm going to rate it probably is because of what it did for punk and who it influenced. But even then, I just don't fucking care. I don't care.
I don't care.
Yeah,
I love it. Yeah.
Exactly.
What is that? The Ting Tings? Who sings that song? The Veronica?
The Ting Ting Tings?
I have no idea. Anyway.
I don't care. That's a good one.
It's a good song. Who is that, though? Is that the Ting Tings?
I don't know.
I don't know either. Anyway, 0-2. Social Distortion, Mommy's Little Monster. What are your... I guess we kind of got into the first impressions on this.
When I was working at Rock This Town Records, huge shout out. There was like a craft recordings repress of this in like 2020-ish that we had restocked, and I was like, I wonder like how good this album is, because somebody came in and bought White Light, White Heat, White Trash, and then also bought Mommy's Little Monster, and they were just like, they're from Arizona, like, oh yeah, this is fucking great, this is amazing. I was like, okay, hold on there, dude, let me see what this is like. And I listened to Mommy's Little Monster, so like my recent impressions of this is like 2 years ago, well I guess 3 years ago now. Well, 3 years ago when it was repressed, but 2 years ago when I listened to it. And I was like, this is a lot better than I thought it was going to be, for sure, like hands down. Mm-hmm. But this is still not good. Like, come on, my guy.
Yeah.
This is not good music. This is better than I expected, but it's still not good.
What I find interesting about this band in general is that it seems like they're popular worldwide. They don't seem as regional as like your Sublime or really Sublime. But from what I was reading, like they have a pretty big following in the UK as well as Australia and all over the US. And they just seem so hyper regional. I don't know. It's just the things that they talk about, that he talks about. And
because those three fucking songs, dude, those three songs, which are like the same fucking song 3 times.
They really are, yeah.
But those 3 songs are just, they're so easy to get into. It's just like, it's like training wheels for people that want to get into any kind of punk rock. God damn, dude, man. Like that song, Story of My Life, like that is their biggest song. Even bigger than Ring of Fire. Story of My Life is their biggest song.
Yeah, you're right. It is.
That song, fuck that song. That song sucks. It's 6 minutes long. And it's not fucking good. It's not good.
The chorus, though, it is fun to sing, but not because it's
high school. Like, good God.
Story of my life. Whoa.
You're not Elvis, bro. You're not in the fucking Rat Pack. Your crooning is not good. The people you are inspiring are crooning better than you. You croon better on Mommy's Little Monster. Man, Story of My Life is just like, that is like the most bullshit song that became popular for most bullshit of reasons.
They for sure have better songs than Story of My Life. Like we're not just, I'm not, or at least for me, I'm not saying like all their music is terrible or bad, because it's not. There are some good songs, but Story of My Life, I mean, there's so much. I mean, even off that record, there are better songs than Story of My Life.
I don't even like Ball and Chain, but I think Ball and Chain is a better song than Story of My Life.
No, see, I don't think so. I think Ball and Chain's pretty.
But at least Ball and Chain in that chorus, probably the Ball and Chain, at least he like goes a little bit higher and then drops down, like a little variation in what he's doing in that bullshit fucking chorus. But man, dude, this band is an image. This band is just right time, right place. They started this bullshit movement, and they just ugh. The band name is cool. I like the band name.
The band name is really cool. Also, I think it's, because they were just so, or Mike Ness was just so about the punk scene here in Orange County. That's a big factor as to why they've had this longevity. Also, back in, I think it was 1983 or 84, or I think it was 84, they went on tour with Youth Brigade, and they made a documentary of the tour. and and the documentary was like how the tour ended abruptly and shortly because of the van breaking down. They all had to come back to California, and it was just like that whole story. I feel like because of that documentary and being featured also on the Decline of Western Civilization, that documentary as well, like that really boosted the I guess the mysticism of the band as well. I feel like there are a lot of outside factors that have made this band popular that don't really relate to the music itself, the music specifically. But,
I can't even. So like that documentary. So they also went on tour with Minor Threat, and that helped them like propel themselves into like stardom. And that whole documentary ended in a complete disaster. Like the band broke up. Fucking Mike Ness had to find his own way home because the band completely abandoned him, and it was just this whole thing. And this is before their even first album came out. This is like 1981 or 2.
This is the same documentary then? Because I didn't watch the documentary.
I didn't watch the documentary, but I read just a lot of things about it from different perspectives. And that was like the whole thing about the documentary was just the whole implosion of Social Distortion before their first record even came out. Mm-hmm. And I think I do want to give this band credit because I do think that they are changing. They changed punk music in the early 80s, in the late 70s. They did something that inspired a whole genre of punk. Like there would be no Tiger Army if it wasn't for this shit.
I would agree.
Somebody else may have done it later on, but for all intents and purposes, there would be no Tiger Army if it wasn't for this.
Yep.
But it's like they invented a genre, but just sucked at it. You know what I mean? And
they had the blueprint.
Okay.
Yeah, they were the blueprint of it. Yeah. But they never perfected it. Yeah, that's
fine. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong to say, I was heavily inspired by this band. If it wasn't for this band, I would not exist. But that band sucks.
I also feel like Social D are a band that unless you got into them at a really young age, there's a ton of nostalgia, or you were there at the time, in the 80s, 90s, when they were huge, or you were in the punk scene in the 80s. I feel like if you weren't specifically in that era, you're not going to really like Social D. It just seems so specific to that era, and they seem like such a nostalgic band that I don't really see this. I mean, I could be completely wrong, but I just don't see new, young people getting into the band. I really don't. Even local punkers and local kids. I mean, we haven't been in the punk scene or the hardcore scene in many, many years, but I just can't imagine them getting into Social Distortion over other local punk bands or anything like that. I just don't see it at all.
There was a good group of people that I went to camp with, a good little tiny clique that just loved Social D. So every time I went to a Social D concert, it was because they invited me, and they said, "Hey, do you want to come?" Either I bought a ticket for cheap, or they had a ticket for me. But like you said earlier, I just wanted to go hang out with them. I wanted to be with them. I wanted to do whatever. So I have nostalgia with this band because I want to hang out with them. And yes, I can sing along to these songs because they're the fucking same. They all have the same progression. They all have the same kind of tempo. They all go the same place. They're all so fucking boring. They're safe. There's nothing unique about this band except for Mike Ness. And it just so happens that he's the worst fucking part.
So the key word there is they're safe, because punk music is repetitive. It can be monotonous at times,
but it should never be safe.
It should never be safe, and it should always have energy. And those are the two things that you can, that's Social Distortion. They're safe, and they don't make very upbeat, aggressive music or more punk adjacent or punk music, really. I mean, most of their songs are pretty, outside of the first record, most of their songs are pretty,
they're mid-tempo bullshit.
Mid-tempo, yeah. I mean, but even Mommy's Little Monster, outside of a few parts of some of the songs are closer to mid-tempo than they are anything else. I mean, they're not the most punk songs.
No,
just the attitude. It's more the attitude. It's more the attitude than anything else. The attitude,
because the fucking attitude of half of these songs is just come on, dude, shut the fuck up. Good Lord, whiny baby. And going back to the whole,
but mind you, okay, so saying, what a baby or whatever, the dude was between 18 and 20 years old when he wrote these lyrics. Coming from suburban Orange County, which, in the end, pretty fucking safe. It's not like you're fucking in, like downtown LA or
but this was Orange County,
Hollywood,
like late 70s, early 80s. It wasn't as safe as it is now. It was still kind of up and coming. It was safer, yes, but
Orange County in the 70s and especially the 70s, it was all literally orange groves. Like outside of Disneyland, everything was fucking orange groves.
But the punk scene was nasty, and the punk scene's always been nasty. And the
punk scene in Orange County wasn't nearly as nasty as it was out in LA.
No, but it was still nastier than 80% of America.
I suppose.
Outside of Frisco, New York, maybe like Philly, and then here.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
But like, oh, fuck! I lost my train of thought.
That's fine, dude.
I was gone. Gone.
It's gone
because it's so stupid. I just clearly didn't care about it that much. So,
so let's get into our because I do want to talk more about the scene and keep it hyper local. But let's at least get into right now our biggest banger. So what is your biggest banger from Mommy's Little Monster?
Dude, the title track, Mommy's Little Monster. That's the best song. That song
didn't even make
fucking good.
That didn't make my banger list.
Dude,
I got five. I have 5 bangers, and that didn't make
four
my banger
bangers.
list.
I have 4 bangers, and that's my number 1.
Okay, let's get into it. Yeah, the title track.
I give them a pass because it's their first album, but like the whole murder the melody to death thing that they do, that they perfected on Ball and Chain and Story of My Life, it's still here. Like they murdered this fucking melody to death, but this melody is catchy, and I love it.
It is. It's very catchy. And this is also the point in the record where you kind of hear the bass kind of cutting through the mix, and he's kind of noodling a little bit, being a little bit squirrely. Like this song, he's kind of just like walking all over the fucking bass, walking all over the frets. And it sounds awesome. It sounds really, really good. The guitar lead's really solid. And overall it is a catchy song, but I don't know. I thought it was still, maybe it just reminded me a little too much of like later Social Distortion. So I just that's why it's not a banger. I don't know.
I mean, that's essentially what it is. This is later Social Distortion with just more like punk elements to it, I guess.
Yeah. Which
is like weird to say because this is a punk album, but this is not really a punk album. It's just punker than they're not punk albums.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's not to be like gatekeepy or anything, but this is like objectively just not fucking like punk. This is just like dumb. Oh yeah, going back to the whole, you said like the energy thing with punk music and like punk should never, you said something along the lines of like punk should never be like boring. Mm-hmm. And it's like the perfect example is like the Misfits. Like the Misfits have croony ass fucking songs. Like they have shit that's like this, that sounds like this. But it's not this. It's fucking exciting and it's melodic. And some of their most melodic songs are like a minute and a half. You're like, nah, that's too melodic. That's not punk enough. Let's just cut it at a minute and a half. Let's not drown it out to 6 minutes long. Like, good God, man.
Yeah.
And so, like, to think that like Mike Ness, which I do think like he is like they are pioneering like a new era of punk. He's not the first person to croon on a punk record.
No, Danzig was. I mean, would you consider Danzig the first punk crooner?
Absolutely, dude. Tim and Eric do the doo. For sure, dude. Danzig is the first punk crooner. Absolutely.
Misfits were so early on in the whole punk scene anyway, so yeah, he has to be the first.
But again, like songs like fucking Hybrid Moments, right? Like how long is Hybrid Moments? Like 2 minutes long tops?
I think it's 2 minutes, maybe 2:05.
My God. Yeah. And that song is barely a punk song. That's like a croony kind of like poppy song. And like fuck, they cut it at 2 minutes. Done.
That is probably their catchiest song too.
They could have bled that out to like 4 or 5 minutes.
But they didn't.
They didn't need to.
But then
they didn't want
you go into Danzig's solo stuff. It's like, dude, now you got like 5-6 minute metal songs where he croons, and it's just like, oh, dude, get over.
You don't need to do that. So
yeah, do not care about Danzig solo stuff.
So yeah, they like Social D. They just I I respect them for what they were trying to do. I respect them for like kind of what they did. I just don't respect them for how they did it.
Yeah. Yep.
Mommy's Little Monster, my 1B. I love that song. It's a good song.
Okay. What do you have lyrically on this one?
It's good. This next song is a song of rebellion, as Max Bemis from Say Anything would say.
Ugh.
He's just a brat kid who dropped out of high school to follow his dreams.
Wait, Mommy's Little Monster?
Yeah.
No, that's not what this song is about.
Mommy's Little Monster?
Yeah, this is not what this song is about.
That's exactly what this song is about.
No.
Yes.
No, this song has like no.
What are you talking? Mommy's Little Monster. Like all the things that like your parents don't want you to do, you are doing. Mommy's the first line is he dropped.
Well, but
dropped out of high school, and he talks about like everybody's like disappointed in him, and like he's being the kid that his parents would frown upon. That's all it's about.
Yeah, but
he's a fucking.
But it's not
it's
just
a song of rebellion.
Well, I wouldn't say it's a song of rebellion. I think it's more of a song about burning out and having like, having no. Yeah, it's more of a burnout
burnt
song.
out at this point. No,
well, he's more of a burnout. But then okay, so he's the first verse, and then the second verse is the girl, getting pregnant at 15, and doing drugs and this shit. So like the two verses are different because they're from not the perspective, but they're about two different people.
It doesn't matter who they're about. The fact is still about this. Just about rebellion. The fact that she got pregnant is because she had sex, because she's having sex behind her parents'
I think it's more
back.
about. I don't think it's about. I don't think it's about talking about how he's a positive. The positive aspect of being rebellious, but I feel like
she had sex at 15. Like that's
I know. I get it. It's rebellious.
Don't have sex.
I think it's more of just like
rebellion. It's a punker song.
No.
What do you mean no? What do you think the song's about? Give me one line.
Because you're making it sound like it was an intentional
give me one
rebellion,
sentence.
but it's more like the kids are pieces of shit. It's less about rebellion and more about the kids being pieces of shit.
Why are they pieces of shit?
Because they make really bad decisions, just for the sake of being
that's what
rebellious.
a kid is. That's what kids do.
I get it.
Remember when we got arrested for and shit? That's what kids do. That's what kids do. It doesn't mean we're pieces of shit. It just means we're fucking dumb. Kids be dumb.
I think, we've been doing this podcast for 7 years now. I think that was the first time either of us have ever said exactly what we did and got in trouble for. Damn,
that's what we did, and we got in trouble for it. Were we pieces of shit?
Trouble.
No, we're just dumb fucking kids.
All right, I guess it's so fucking
again.
stupid.
Overall, we're arguing about things that we don't care about, so like we have to argue about something. Like that's the reason we do this podcast is to argue about something. I'm just going to argue about anything at this point because I don't fucking care about this album. I really don't.
Yeah, I know. We're really just kind of you're right.
I don't. So we can talk about the Angels. Playoff baseball, I guess. I don't know.
The 2002 world champion Anaheim Angels.
There you go. See, finally you got it.
I finally got it, right?
There you go. That's it.
So Mommy's Little Monster is your number one. My 1B is Hour of Darkness.
Okay.
Where does this one sit for you?
That is not a banger. That's an okay. I have no stinkers. I don't know if we said that earlier.
Yeah, I don't have any stinkers either.
But I only have 4 bangers. Hour of Darkness is not a banger for me.
Okay. So what kind of stands out to me on this song is obviously Death by Stereo came out over a decade later, but the beginning of this song sounds like No Cuts, No Butts, No Coconuts from the first Death by Stereo record. Just it has that same kind of feel and same kind of beat, but it doesn't drop as hard as Death by Stereo, obviously. This is also a more bass driven song. Also, he sounds a little like there's a lot of Matt Freeman I hear too on this particular song. It just cuts through real nice. There are a couple songs, including this one, that has like this weird filter on Mike's voice, which is just like, why do that? Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
It's like not through like a megaphone kind of filter thing, but it's unnecessary. It sounds kind of stupid. But I really do like the guitar solo or lead. It's more of a lead on this. It's just really, really, yeah. It's just really, no, there's one part where he kind of shreds a little bit.
Barely. I think I know.
You know what I'm talking about,
but
yeah.
It's barely.
But it's really fucking smooth. I was actually pretty impressed by the guitar playing. I don't know if it was Mike or who's the guitar player? Dennis.
Who cares? He's
Dennis,
only there for this record. Who cares?
No, Dennis was on more than this record. It was the bassist and drummer, right?
Oh, again, none of these guys are there from the beginning. These are a rotating group of people. Nobody's iconic outside of Mike Ness's vocals. Who cares?
But I think another reason why I put the song as high as I did is because during the bridge too, it double times for no reason. It double times, but man, dude, it adds so much like character to the goddamn song. It's fucking solid. It's really, really solid. But I mean, lyrically, it's just about drug use and going a little too far with it.
Yeah,
I don't know. I'm really just. I tried to write down as much as I could about these songs because they're good, but they're punk songs. You know, in the end, they're punk songs, and they aren't too complex. Obviously, not too much to talk about. It's not like we're doing a fucking Yes record or some shit.
But like even some punk albums are rich in what they were doing and what they created for punk. And
I mean, look at Descendants when we did Milo.
Yeah, that was
so many
fucking
things to talk
surprising,
about.
and it's like I cannot believe that what they influenced. But like Social Distortion, even what they've influenced is such a minor subset of rock music in general. It's just like, you know, I mean, like how many bands, Tiger Army and Reverend Horton Heat, and it's just even like bands from Southern California, essentially. Just I don't know. Hour of Darkness is cool though. It was a fine. I don't hate the song. I thought the chord progression was weird, or the chord pattern was weird, I should say. It was very Jack White sounding. That like that sound was a little bit weird. And then it just reminded me of like stupid fucking late 70s, early 80s punk music, like Cheap Trick sounding. I thought this was dumb. And like the saving grace was that double time part to end the song.
Yeah.
But really it was very pop punky too, like the way the lead guitar came in. I thought it was very pop punky sounding.
Mm-hmm.
It's whatever.
Yep. Yeah, it's whatever's. All the songs are just good. Good.
They really are. I have some bangers.
We've been talking so much shit, but I mean, this record is a good punk record. It really is, and I do get why people who like punk music really, really love this record. I totally get it. It's one of the most accessible punk records. I mean, it's up there. You could honestly throw this up there with Ramones, Sex Pistols for sure. Maybe not the Clash, but Ramones and Sex Pistols, you can throw this up there as accessible.
Not gonna like that.
Well, it's true. I mean, the Clash were definitely a little bit more complex when it came to punk music. There was something different about the Clash, but Ramones, Sex Pistols, so fucking run of the mill and fucking boring, honestly.
I don't disagree.
But it's just accessible.
Absolutely.
It's just accessible punk rock, and that's what this record is. It's not a knock to it. It's a good gateway drug. It's a good gateway drug into punk music.
It's kind of a knock.
Whatever. But what's wrong with being accessible? We talk about Blink being accessible to punk rock as well in the late 90s, early 2000s, because they were. Same with Green Day. Green Day were significantly better, and Blink are significantly better than Social D, but they're also gateway bands. I just have no I have little to no patience for like the Ramones, who just released. By the time like Mommy's Little Monster came out, the Ramones probably had like 10 albums under their belts, and their first album came out like fucking 6-7 years prior to Mommy's Little Monster. So like a lot of time, because like things are happening. I could get it, but it's just like, I don't know, dude. Fuck off. I feel like so like out of the big three, the Clash, Pistols, and Ramones, I feel like the Ramones were only as big as they were because they were American. That's why they were as big as they were. But they put out way too many records, way too many songs, way too many records. Sex Pistols were only popular because they were British, and also because they put out one record, and because of Sid Vicious's, personal life. Really, that's why they're popular. Yeah. The Clash are popular because they're British, and they're actually good. Yeah, they're actually really good. But I don't know where I was going with that. I just want
the Ramones were like an image. Like I feel like they were like an image, and
but
they
like
looked cool, and they had fucking shaggy hair, and they played fucking fast, kind of like staccato, like power chords and downstroked everything, and it was just cool guys. Like Sex Pistols are just garbage all around. But
the point, actually, I remember my point. My point was going to be that had the Sex Pistols made more than just the one record, had they made 13 records, or I think that's how many the Ramones have. Had they made like 13 records over a 20-year span, I don't think they would be regarded as highly as they are. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think the Sex Pistols, which we talked about when we did that record, Nevermind the Bollocks. They're more. The Sex Pistols are only popular because of their image and what they did outside of music. That's really why they're popular. Not because of the actual music, because
that's true. They were. I mean, the Sex Pistols. Well, I'm just going off on a tangent here, but the Sex Pistols were more disrespectful to society than the Ramones were. Like the Sex Pistols music sucked, but the Sex Pistols were they were more disrespectful. They were disrespectful to everybody in that era, and the punk music, the scene. But like the Ramones had already released an album prior to the Sex Pistols coming out with their one and only album, but. See, that's the thing with the Sex Pistols, they capitalized on the shock value of it. That's where they made their entire career, and that's how they still make their career. That's a big part of punk.
It is, but it's only because of the Sex Pistols. Had the Sex Pistols not come out, maybe Misfits would have taken that part of the big three, maybe, but I don't know. It's just the Sex Pistols blow. They suck,
They do.
Man.
They suck. I mean, look at the Stooges, right? Like the Stooges are.
They did it way better. They did it way. I mean, I'm not a big Stooges fan, but they did it way better.
Neither am I. I'm not a big Stooges fan either. I think it's a little too Velvet Underground-y, garage rock sounding. But I mean, they were doing punk music almost a decade before they did, or the Sex Pistols did.
Even a band like Death, the original Death, which I still want to do on the pod, the Detroit Death, they were out years before the big three, and they were doing it way, way better than the big three were. Even better than the Clash. So, yeah. Anyway,
this is where we go with the band that we just don't fucking care about at all. We just talk about things that we do care about.
Dude, we got to do Death, man. I've wanted to do them for so long. That band is so goddamn good. Not the metal band; they're really good too. But the OG punk band from the 70s,
yeah,
the
black driven punk band from Detroit, right?
Yep.
Like what is even that?
Dude, I know. And it's crazy
like
because
black-driven punk band from Detroit in the late 60s, early 70s?
It was early mid 70s.
That's crazy.
They were fucking incredible. I have the record on vinyl too. It's just, I mean, obviously it's a reissue, but it's fucking good. The whole history too, it's sad. They deserved so much more than what they even still get. It's just like nobody really knows about this Death band, but dude, they were absolutely killing it in the 70s, and the music holds up so goddamn well. They're incredible.
Well, like, dude, you're from Detroit, right? So like Motown is dominating the scene at that point. And even towards like the 70s, like Motown is just fucking taking over. It's sweeping, you're done. And if your name is not like Grand Funk or MC5 from Detroit, it's just what are you gonna do?
And then bring the race part into it too.
Yeah, they're all black.
They're all black, and they're playing punk music, or they're playing like rock and roll music like this.
No way.
Aggressive rock and roll music, because punk wasn't even a thing at this point. That term had kind of been coined already with MC5, but it wasn't popularized yet. Like they were just doing something so different. Nobody sounded like Death at that time. Nobody sounded like them. From the Stooges to MC5. MC5 weren't as aggressive. They weren't as punk as Death were. Man, let's just do Death right now. Who cares?
We should.
Social D.
I don't even care. I just there's so many cool fucking bands out here that is not named Social D. I don't even care anymore.
All right, let's get back into Social D. Let's get into it. Let's get into our 2Bs. We'll get more into the Orange County scene after that, I guess, right?
Dude, I really just don't care about this album.
Let's at least do a couple more songs.
Okay.
A couple more songs.
My 2B is Moral Threat, the last song.
Okay, that's my 5B. So let's get into this one. This is a 5-minute song.
I just don't understand why you like the worst songs. Yeah, Moral Threat. I don't know. This is like a slow burn song. The melody's cool, but it's a slow burn. Like the instrumental bits of this are super solid, and they kind of just build. They build and they build up into that last part. That's just a jam thing. It speeds up, it slows down. It's just them kind of jamming. The last, minute and a half?
Yeah, it's definitely like an amateur jammy song. It reminds me a lot of us, actually, just when we're fucking around.
Yeah.
Like, it just sounds like something we would do just for shits and gigs.
That's it. You find a groove, you hit it, you lock in, you speed it up, you slow it down, and then you end on however you want to end it on.
Yeah, I mean, and they really go. This is like their prog song. I think this is honestly, this is the proggiest song they've ever done. And when I say proggy, that's a very loose description of it, but
yeah,
it kind of is. And just that first like minute of build up, just like the ringing out of the note, the power chords, and just the distortion, the feedback, and then it just drops out of nowhere into the punk song, and then the bridge, it drops into like the slower thing, and then it speeds up as the guitar starts soloing, and just for no reason, it just speeds up. Like it wasn't just like a 1-2 hit and then it goes fast. Like the tempo just speeds up for no reason. Yeah. And I love it. I just love how just kind of carefree that kind of thing is. It's just like shit you don't hear in music anymore. Because it is very amateur and it's goofy and all that shit, but it was charming. Like in the context of this song, it was just very, very charming. And I did like that. So
yeah, it's fine.
It's a good song. It's a good song.
Dude, I just don't care about these songs anymore. I really don't. Like we can kind of go through the motions if you want, but
okay, no, I mean we don't have to really talk about any more of the songs.
This band is just fucking dumb, dude. Like it's so stupid, and it's just like every time I've gone to see this band, right? Mm-hmm. It's just like we've never. Like we have, I mean, you did in high school, but like it's post high school, we've never dressed to look like the band we're going to see, right? Like when we go see Weezer, we're not dressed like in like mod gear and stuff like that. When we go see a punk band, we're not dressed in punk band.
I did like how you threw that in there. Post high school.
I had to because you had your Liberty Spikes, you painted your nail like Carson Daly, you had your AFI t-shirts. You were very trendy in high school. That's fine. Nothing wrong with that. That's okay.
Not trendy, but
yeah, no,
within
you were
the
trendy
scene.
as fuck. You were trendy as fuck. Yeah. Whatever Carson Daly did, you did.
But you know what? Okay. Let's take a couple steps back here. So yeah, I did make some questionable decisions with my fashion in high school, but I never went full in on any certain trend. I never had the big swooped hair of the emo stuff from the Blink and Take You Back Sunday shit. I never did that. I never did the TPK stuff. Tight Pants Kid. I never got into that until very later on. I got into it later on, post high school. I wore Dickies from like 1997.
That is true. You wore Dickies like all through high school.
Dude, from like 1998 until like 2007, 2008, I wore Dickies every fucking day. And then I got into skinny jeans.
That's it. Yeah.
And then I got into skinny jeans. It took me a long time, but I got there. So I never fully followed trends in high school. I did a lot of stupid things, but I didn't follow a trend completely.
Yeah. No, you're right. You were trendy. So
dude, you're so
I think I think like
I literally just gave you like 6 examples.
Just poo-pooed them all away with one fucking comment.
I know.
Yeah, you were trendy. That's fine. So every time I've seen Social D like live, it's like the same fucking dude. It's just like you know what I mean? Like the pinup like type girl.
Yeah.
This is gonna sound gatekeepy, but like I don't care because it should be gatekeepy because it's fucking annoying, and it's just like, it's a scene. It's a fucking scene, and I don't subscribe to following a scene just because it's the scene. Like follow the scene because it's good. Like the band is innovative. The band is like objectively good. They're doing something for the scene. They're doing something for music. Social D just kind of like created almost this scene, but then like fell flat. And like I've seen Necromantics. That's a fucking dope band, dude. They are
not
rad.
as good as Tiger Army, but yeah.
I would agree. But like that's a better, I guess, interpretation of what Social D was probably going for in the early days, because Necromantics are punk as fuck.
but they're psychobilly. I don't know. They're more
Social D's is not
psychobilly.
good enough to be psychobilly. I think Mike Ness would love to be faster, to be more aggressive, to be harder. He's just not good enough. This band isn't good enough. They've never done anything good enough. So I couldn't get my head around going to the scene and wearing the stupid fucking clothes that I did and my bright pink shirts going to these shows and just being like, wow, man, this is fucking dumb. This is all stupid. This music sucks. This scene sucks. Everything about this is just... But it's all poser. You're all posers.
You did kind of nail it. Like when I would see Social D back in like the mid 2000s, a lot of the people there the girls were like the pinup looking girls, with the hair, the polka dot dresses, the red lipstick, that kind of stuff. Yeah. And then the guys were always the slick back hair,
sure.
Fucking
you get your cuffs rolled up in the pants, cuffs rolled up on the shirts. Maybe I don't get it. Maybe like we just don't get it. Maybe like going out is a thing and like people dress up to go out. Like in movies and shit. Like you see people that they put on their nice like dress and their nice suit and they go out to dinner. Especially from Southern California. Like we're so casual in everything we do. Dude, we leave in the 7th inning at Angel games and Dodger games because we don't fucking care. We leave.
That's true.
I don't care the outcome. We're taking off. We're going home. I'm tired. Like, it's just such a casual lifestyle. So put this much effort into going to a concert. It just seems disingenuous for the Southern California lifestyle. And I guess that's ultimately what I've never liked. It's a way of life, dude. Being in Southern California, our lackadaisical approach to fucking everything in life is very Southern California.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
And putting this much effort into a band, into a scene, into a genre, into a night out is just...
But I'm not going to... You can't knock people for that.
I don't give a fuck. I'll knock people for whatever I want to. And it's stupid. I don't fucking like it. Dumb.
Oh, man. So I do want to talk... I sent you a link to something earlier today about where Mike Ness actually used to live in Fullerton.
The Punk House.
It was called the Punk House. I guess that was like a common term. I never really heard of that term before, but I guess it's like an all-encompassing term where, it's literally a house where punkers hang out. Drugs are, people are using, they're fucking, they're doing all kinds of shit that they shouldn't be doing.
That's what it is. It's where they're doing fucking drugs.
Yeah, pretty much. But so it was the apartment still exists. It's in Fullerton. I found the address. And I sent it to you, and dude, I know exactly where this fucking apartment building is too. I know exactly where this apartment building is. It's right behind Biggs, where a bar we used to go to in Fullerton, right near the college, Cal State Fullerton. And dude, and I've been over there for work before when I was an EMT. And dude, I know this fucking place. It's a 1-bedroom apartment on the first floor, and So that in itself is kind of cool that we know where that is. But I saw on Zillow the rent estimate, or how much the rent is to live in this 1-bedroom apartment, 640 square feet, $1,900, $1,000 to live in one of those apartments. Okay. It was specific to that apartment, yes, but I mean, I don't think Mike Ness living there is going to make the rent go higher. But $1,900 for a 1-bedroom apartment, 640 square feet. That is insanity. That is fucking... I was blown away by that rent. It's crazy. That's fucking crazy. And it's not nice. It's not a nice apartment complex. It's not at all. It's old. It's run down as fuck.
It is run down, but like so is like all of Fullerton. Fullerton's
true, yeah. I
mean, there was a 5 to 7 year span where Fullerton was like the biggest place for like MS-13 in like a gang area, like FTT Fullerton Tokertown. They had like ties to MS-13, and there was a massive gang problem. So like Orange County's nice overall, but Fullerton's pretty old and pretty shit.
It is. I mean, it's gotten better. Fullerton's much better than it was even 15 years ago. It's much better. 15, 20 years ago. It's much better. Like when we used to go to downtown Fullerton a lot and party, compared to now, it's way nicer. Way nicer. But I don't know. Fullerton is it's old. It's old. It is definitely old. Yeah. I honestly, I still like Fullerton. I like downtown Fullerton. I kind of like that old town kind of feel to it. I just don't like the people that go there. I like the bars a lot. I like the restaurants a lot there. It's cool because the train station is right there in downtown Fullerton.
Yeah.
There's some cool tattoo shops, some cool owners at these tattoo shops. Like it is really honestly an awesome place to go hang out. It's just unfortunate that the people that go there are fucking douchebags. There's fucking fights, or at least back in the day when we used to go, fucking fights like every fucking night. Cops were everywhere. That part of it sucks, but otherwise, downtown Fullerton's kind of cool.
I mean, nice. that's just like Fullerton for you. It's close to a college, so there's going to be binge drinking to the extent of
2 colleges,
insane amount. Yeah,
I mean, really,
there's so many fucking kids that go there, and they're all there for fucking one reason: to get drunk, not to drink, not to like have a sip. They're there to get drunk. And how often do we go there and not get drunk? Fuck, dude, we show up there drunk.
I know.
We get drunk just to go to downtown Fullerton.
And the funny thing is, I didn't even go to college. I just hung out with all the college kids. I hung out with you guys and everything.
That's true.
I lived the party college lifestyle, but I never went to college.
Without paying for it.
Without paying for it, yeah. But I hung out with everybody that did. So that was cool. I like that part of it. But yeah, downtown Fullerton was it was something.
Fullerton's a cool town. It's 100 years old, man. It's got to be 100 years old. It's one of the oldest cities in Orange County. So yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, it's a cool town. It's a cool town. Went high school.
But damn, dude, have you ever been to like rich Fullerton, or like, I guess rich Fullerton, like the hills?
Yeah, we used to like run through Fullerton.
Oh yeah, we
hills.
used to run. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, duh. I'm a fucking idiot.
It's funny, like in the police academy, like all the guys, all like the old kind of like crusty LAPD guys that retired, they all lived in the Fullerton Hills and those mansions that we ran by, those fucking huge ass houses. But they bought that shit with like old money though. Like you're not buying that with new money.
But also, back when, let's say in the 80s, they probably bought those houses for $100,000.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like
$100,000.
You're not buying that now. You're not working Fullerton PD and buying those houses in the hills.
Exactly.
Not gonna happen.
Yeah, those houses now, dude. I'm sure some of those mansions up on that hill probably go for $5, $6, $7 million easily. I mean, those are some beautiful fucking homes. God, and they have a view of all of Orange County. Like you could see down to Catalina Island. Yeah. Down to the beach or the ocean. Day. Yeah, on a clear day. You could see downtown LA if you look the other direction. Like it's a cool spot, the hills up in Fullerton. But
honestly, like I think Orange County like could be the greatest place to live on earth. It's so rich with history. It's almost as rich as like Los Angeles, but the weather's just a little bit nicer. Yeah. I think like the the geographics are a little bit nicer. And like Orange County is just so rich with history.
And the beaches are nicer.
Most of it's terrible, but
the beaches are nicer than LA County.
Fuck yeah. Like Huntington Beach, dude, that's the surf capital of the world.
It is. But and then you go a little bit farther south. I mean Laguna Beach? I fucking love Laguna Beach.
Yeah.
It's so goddamn nice. The beaches are really nice. Crystal Cove, fucking beautiful. You go farther south, you go to San Clemente, San Juan Capistrano, Dana Point. I mean, Dana Point's a little quiet and it's not really like a beach kind of thing. It's more for like boats and shit. But dude, the farther you go south in Orange County, the nicer the beaches are. Like 100%. They get nicer. Like Huntington Beach is cool, but it's kind of dirty, and it's cool because it's like the surf capital. But I mean, definitely you compare Huntington Beach to Laguna. The surf is almost just as good in Laguna as it is in Huntington. The surf in Laguna is pretty good though.
It's pretty good, but like Huntington Beach is like good every day, every minute, every hour. That's true.
But also you have to deal with all of the riffraff, the bullshit of Huntington Beach. The cops are worse over there. Just getting to the beach is more of a pain in the ass because everything is so far away from the beach, like parking wise and shit. Like Huntington Beach is kind of a fucking nightmare. A fucking nightmare. And then as you go further north, kind of a
fucking nightmare.
Yeah, that's true too. But yeah, I don't know.
Rich history, and then like going into like the history of Orange County and the LA County and the Tongva people and that indigenous
Damn, you're going really
population.
far back.
I know, just like God damn, and there's so much like history there with Orange County and LA.
Well, look
County.
at all the. Well, if you go farther south too, you get all the missions in San Juan Capistrano.
Oh, dude,
all that shit. I mean that's a whole nother
it's
thing
so
to
cool.
unpack. Yeah,
Like even though there's a lot of tragedy and a lot of people that were fucked over immensely. It was fun learning about that. Even though we learned about it in like the elementary school, the mission stuff, you didn't really care about it until after high school, right? You didn't go back and like research it and realize like, holy fuck, a lot of people were here before us and are not here now because of us. So that's
exactly
interesting and tragic, but interesting overall.
Yep, that's right. That's right.
Yeah, Social D, man. Social D is pretty boring.
Yeah, pretty basic stuff. I don't know, man. I don't know.
If you have
really
bangers,
about.
let's talk about bangers. I have all the bangers really, too. I just don't care.
Yeah, I'm the same way. Like, we don't have to talk about the bangers specifically, but we just run through it. Like, my number 2 is It Wasn't a Pretty Picture. Another State of Mind is my number 3. Telling Them is my number 4, and then 5 is Moral Threat, which we talked about.
Okay, the only one that overlapped, because Another State of Mind, okay song. That song reminded me of just early Green Day. Just early, snotty Green Day. And obviously this was before Green Day, so I think, but like the sound is still there. And
Did you, I don't know if you wrote this down, but the beginning of that song, I thought Korn came on. Just because the way he's hitting the way, well, hear me out. The way he's hitting the ride cymbal, he's just kind of hitting that bell. And it's like almost the same tempo as Korn's Blind. The song Blind, where it just starts out with the ride.
Okay.
Like that's exactly how this song starts out, and it's almost the same tempo. But then it doesn't do the guitar part and everything. It's just the cymbal. And for a very brief moment, I thought, for whatever reason, Blind came on.
I mean, like anytime you hear, like even when I jam at the neighbor's house, if anybody just hits that ride on that bell area, like okay, that's Blind. But like I thought this song sounded like 39 Smooth era, leading to Kerplunk Green Day sound, but I thought the melody was very tight Wad Hill, like like that's what it sounded like. I thought Green Day here. It was a cool song though.
I got a lot of Descendants on this one. This song, there's another song too that reminded me a lot of Descendants, and then there were a few songs that reminded me of Bad Religion, like straight up pulled from Bad Religion. But this one is more of a Descendants for me. I picked up a lot of that. Not so much Green Day, but I get it. I get what you're saying.
I think the two bands that I think I pulled from was I heard some Black Flag here, and I heard Green Day. But
see, I never got that.
After
I never got anything as aggressive as Black Flag. Maybe some of the guitar playing, it was it was more like the soloing that reminded me of Black Flag sometimes, because it was just kind of off the wall. It didn't really make much sense. But song wise and vocally especially, I didn't hear too much Black Flag.
There was a part in the song All the Answers that really reminded me of Rise Above, the dun 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 dun. Like I heard that, and maybe that was just like happenstance. But I was like, I don't know, man. That's too close to Rise Above. That's too close to being in the punk scene. And these punkers, like they create a song and they're fucking like combing it with a magnifying glass, making sure they didn't rip anybody off, making sure everything's perfect. Ugh. That's like my macro punker aesthetic, is I think like punkers just try so fucking hard to be unique. They try so fucking different.
Yeah. And then not realizing that they're conforming to them, trying to be so anti-establishment and trying not to conform. They're just conforming to the punk ethos, the punk style.
Yeah.
It's just like it's ironic. Let's just say that. Also, I wanted to talk about the recording of this record, Mommy's Little Monsters. They recorded this in one session, in one day, which I get. I totally get. They did it on Christmas Eve of 1982, I believe.
But even just one day. One day is
that's impressive.
Damn.
I was honestly very, very impressed. I mean, I'm sure mixing it, whatever, took a week or two or whatever. But, I mean, recording everything in a fucking day on Christmas Eve, that's even that's punk even by punker terms. Yeah, I know.
Like, really.
It was pretty cool. And then I also want to talk about the artwork. I really like the artwork.
it's fine.
I thought it's different. It didn't look like anything out around that time in the 80s, 70s, 80s.
It just reminds you of like Oingo Boingo or something. It's just
Oh yeah, okay, I guess so. Maybe I'm wrong.
just like
yeah,
it
Oingo
lacks
Boingo,
color.
yeah.
Like Dead Man's Party. It looks like Dead Man's Party.
Yeah, it was drawn by or the art was done by Art Morales. I couldn't find anything about this guy. I tried looking it up. I was just kind of like scouring the internet looking for information about this record.
I think Dead Man's Party came out after this album anyway, so
I think so too. I think Dead Man's Party came out in 84.
was it 86 or something?
Let's see here. What's the guy on Joe Rogan's podcast? I forgot his name.
I don't know.
Well, Dead Man's Party came out in 85. I was trying to be as quick as the guy on Rogan's podcast, but
You should already be on it.
should already be on it. But yeah, that was in 85, so 2 years after this.
Wow.
3 years, or yeah, 2 years.
I don't care. It still looks like it, so I don't care. I don't give a fuck. And honestly, Dead Man's Party, not that great. We got like an
The
OG
album?
copy in, super clean. Yeah, not that good. Don't like it. Don't care.
I mean, the song's good. The song was really good, actually.
No, it's kind of not.
The song is good. Come on. Come
I would
on.
like to do Oingo Boingo in the near future, but just their first album. I love their first album. That's it.
Okay, I'm down. I'm totally down. Down
it.
for whatever. DFA, as the Bouncing Souls would say. DFA.
Mm-hmm.
Remember that song? You know what song I'm talking about?
I do.
All right, good.
There's also a special goodness song called NFA.
Not for anything?
NFA says, "I'm not fucking around." Pat Wilson singing. That's okay.
He curses. I didn't know
care.
Pat Wilson cursed. I didn't know he was allowed to do that.
Dude, if he's not in Weezer, what's that band that he's in? Weezer, he can cuss.
Dumb.
Dude,
Anyway,
I really just like I'm like honestly like I'm digging deep in the pockets here to like pull anything out.
You know
to,
what?
Like, stretch.
we've hit the hour mark. We've hit the hour mark.
God.
So let's. That's like our goal now. The last 3 episodes, it's like, let's see if we could hit an hour with the Dead Man soundtrack, Billy Talent, and now this. These have been tough episodes for whatever reason. It's crazy.
Hold on there, dude, because at least with Dead Man, like we both love Neil Young, and at least I love that movie. You hated it, but I love that movie.
Wrong.
So I could talk about that movie all day. So that was easy. Billy Talent was tough because Billy Talent fooled me because I thought I loved them. But, dude, that band was just not good. And I don't even know what I ranked the album of the week, but I hope it wasn't above like a 2.25.
No, it wasn't. I think you ranked it a 2 from what I remember.
I think I give it a solid 2.
Fool me once, shame on you.
Yeah.
Or, fool me twice.
Fool me twice, I give it a
Can't fool me
2.
again.
You're right. Let's just do I'm down for my wrap up here.
Okay, what do you got?
I don't fucking care anymore.
Yeah, wrap it up and then rate the record based off of our world famous 3-point rating system where 3 is a perfect album, 2 is a good album you're going to continue to listen to, 1 is a bad album, give it a shot, and 0 is the worst thing you've ever heard. So what do you got? Go.
It's funny because like since high school, I just never really liked this band, and I don't care. They're Orange County's house bands, and that's fine. That's great. He made a career out of it. He's done extracurriculars, and that's cool. I think that he has helped define a subset of punk music, and I think that's something to praise. I think that's cool. Like nobody really, like not a lot of people can do that. Not a lot of people can say, yes, I helped shape this subset of punk music. That's rad. I like that. I respect that. But this album's not that good. I would never buy this on the vinyls because I don't think it's unique enough outside of Mike Ness's vocals. And this isn't even like his most unique vocal performance. And
No.
that's what like gets me the most is like I like this album the most, but what defines Social D is not even here. And so like really there's nothing about this band that I really enjoy. And this album, and I'm feeling generous. I'm feeling a little toasty. I just cracked open a Guinness with a J. Yeah. We're digging deep
You were
here
digging
because
deep, yeah.
there's nobody here, so I'm digging deep in the fridge. I'm
Jeff has been home alone for the first time in probably 10 years.
No, ever in my life.
Or ever, really? Yeah, I guess so.
You've
always lived with somebody.
Always lived with somebody.
Yeah.
Always. I have never been home alone by myself for more than 3 days, ever in my entire life.
And what are you on day 4 right now?
I'm on day 3.
You okay? So right now, okay, you are experiencing.
I'm officially. I've crossed the halfway point. I'm halfway done with being home alone. And yeah, it's fucking weird. I don't like it. I after the podcast is over, who am I going to go bother? I don't know.
You have nobody to bother. That's great.
It's fucking weird. I don't like it. But I don't know, man. Social D's is not. This band's is not that good. They've done cool things. They've laid groundwork for other bands that we love. But yeah, I don't know. I again, like, I'm toasty, so I'm feeling generous at most. And I think I may regret this ranking. But at most, right now, I can give this album a 2 out of 3.
Oof. Okay.
And I think, like, if I wasn't toasty, I would probably give it a lot less.
All right. Yeah. My final thoughts. My wrap up. I think this band is important to the scene. I think they're a great gateway band into punk music. We talked a lot of shit, but honestly, they're popular for a reason, and that is because they're a gateway band. Not to talk or make fun of like people who actually really like this band, but I think a lot of it, like in the end, a lot of it comes down to nostalgia. What it meant to you is like being a younger person, and you just kind of you always have that connection. That's what it is. It's nostalgia, baby. Nostalgia. And really, Mike Ness has marketed the band and his image to Orange County, which is cool. That's super cool. I like that because Orange County, I think, is a little bit underrepresented considering how many bands have come out of this area. But I do think it's cool that he really embraced it and has made it his thing, his kind of identity almost. So yeah, with that musically, there's nothing super special about it. It's a good punk record. It really is a good punk record. And because of that, I'm not opposed to going back to it at all. I would go back to it. I'm not going to get on vinyl. I'll give it a 2 out of 3. A 2 out of 3 for me.
At best.
Yeah.
At fucking best.
At best, yes.
I would never, ever give this fucking a higher rating than that. But I could go lower.
I agree.
We didn't talk about the fucking the mascot, the symbol either. But
oh yeah. Yeah, so the mascot, the I guess I would call that iconic. The skeleton
it's a dope
holding
mascot. I fucking love that mascot.
I do too.
So cool.
It's a skeleton kind of like dancing, holding a martini glass, and it was actually created by Melvin. Oh my god, what's his fucking name from the Melvins?
Yeah, I don't know his name
Osborne.
Yeah,
Buzz. Wait, was it Buzz? Buzz Osborne. Fuck, whatever his name is. His wife actually created it as kind of like a joke for like a party invitation that she sent out to some people, and Social D adopted it, and it's been their symbol for decades now.
It's a fucking
logo.
I fucking love that.
I do too.
I love it. I think it's really cool. It's just like I cannot believe that cool iconography was wasted on a band like this.
I agree with you.
That
totally
sucks.
agree with you. Yep. All right. Well, that's all we got. Thank you for listening. Go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, give us 5 stars, tell all your friends, and get ready because we're about to get into good season. Getting into another. We said we weren't going to do another season for a while, but fuck it, we're doing.
We needed, dude. We needed this, man. Canada season. What the fuck, man?
Canada
good
season.
Lord.
And then Social D. Now we're getting into good season.
Holy shit, man. Canada season was just like, wow. That's what you got? Really? All right. Okay. Whatever.
All right. Stay tuned for good season. And that's it. That's all.
Fuck.